Hola, ta parto chukpa, tene sipa parto segre. Ta sipa parto kapsu, ta rangye, ene ya ta shesongwa, tene haku yore. Dingun la chik shunye parto tang, ene chike parto kapsu, ene ta rangye shiwa henba, ene haku yoma. Ena ta chik turnang nangwa ta turnang se na ta ki pene shunye parto kapla, ene hitu ki tene lato tata tamche ene charku yore. Ta tedola ene ya tene njikta jena ne, ene ya ma korwa chamku yore. Ya teda ene rangi semje, ene tene ta rangdang henba, zal henba. Hi na ne, ene cholndu yore. Ene chike parto kapla, ta kokap hita yakbo yore. Ya chol, siba korwa le kyam ma goba. Tene, ene ya nyamle ki tengdo ene ya sha topa ina, ene chol tuku yore. Chike parto. Ene chunye parto kapla yang, ene kokap yu yore. Ene ta kokap te chungre. Ta chunye parto kapla chol matab na, ta sipa parto re. Ta sipa parto kapla, tene ta peche korwa le kyam ju mato, ene kokap hita yo mares. Ta ina yang, che yang, ngonji pakcha ki tola tene, chik lama wapa me, chik ten, chene se, ten, tela chik ene sorwa tap topa ina, ina yang chik choya ki rewa yore, mato ta hi, ene ya sipa parto kapla ta chunang yang awa, jik surungwa, ene sozo xie sungwa inba, ta di kapla haku yores.
So now we come to the sixth of the bardos. So it's called the bardo of becoming. And at this time, now one is going to know that one has died. During this previous two bardos, then one isn't aware. So at the very end of the bardo of dying, once you do actually die, and then in the bardo of becoming, during both of these, most people don't know that they have actually died. And as we said, there are great opportunities for liberation in both of these bardos, but the opportunity gets less as we progress. So at the time of the bardo of dying, if one has the wherewithal to practice, then there is this great opportunity for liberation, and one will not have to wander samsara anymore if you can rest in very strong practice. But if you don't become liberated in the bardo of dying, then what's going to happen? Then the peaceful and wrathful deities of the bardo of dharmata are going to arise. And here there's the opportunity for liberation, but it's not as good as it was in the previous one, not as easy as it was, so to speak, in the bardo of dying. But there still is the chance. If you're not afraid, if you can recognize these occurrences to be nothing other than the spontaneous manifestation or the spontaneous radiance of your own mind, then there still is that opportunity for liberation. However, if you become afraid of them and shrink back from them, then you're just going to be continually propelled through the bardos and back into samsara. So though there is a chance in the bardo of dharmata, it's a less good chance. And that continues when you move on to the bardo of becoming. If you weren't able to be liberated in the bardo of dying or the bardo of dharmata, now it's much more difficult to find liberation in the bardo of becoming. It's still possible, though, for people who have strong habitual tendency to the practices, particularly to visualizing the Lama and Amitabha or the Lama and Chenrezi. If you can supplicate them one-pointedly, then it is possible for liberation to occur, though it's a bit more difficult. Most people, if they make it all the way to the bardo of becoming, they're going to again take birth in samsara.
Sepa parto kapsu ngonjong sepe hyazuk chens ta ngonjong se ni yore ta ngon se de ne ta kya ngama ta so zu lu kare na me ndawa pe na ngan ndawa se na ta nganang ke ene lu te ene ya te ne yinju nge lu ngoma re yo ma ye ji lu de ilure ke lu melam tabu ke lu ngado melam la ene tin so so lu imba nawa hyar go yore de ene ti kala lu ngoma yo marba pe te na ke ene ya tin ta che so so range ene tin lu kare imba ti nawa hyar ngore nawa hyar ke re de ena yang ko toba me ba ya tin sikwa so ban ro toba ene kola ene ang che ene lu de la che yo ba leji wange yo ba ene yang ngo yi yang ene tembe yo ba zundro yang tembe yo ba de ngo yi da zundro de leji wange chungwa ma do yang ta se che gom nyam ne che be ki tol de ne chungwa ma re ngo se ta tinde lu ene ye ki lu ene tin tunge ene ya tin ta so so ke sharing yo re 대샤론도 걸라 때네 즉다 되게다 만다베게 저 여봐 에네 옆에 톡바매 봐 에네 로트바 뭐히 여봐 든달 때네 야 땅아 시타도 삼베게 때네 다 소소 히바에 봐 디갑 하고요 그래서 때네 샘다 베 동아 낭다 즉다 삼지메 잡아 제거요 그래서
So there's a verse that talks about the experiences of the bardo of becoming, and the first word of this verse is before. So what does it mean by before? And this, I can't translate it. The verse won't come out as an intact verse. We'll just go through it word by word and what each word is referring to. So before means that in the bardo of becoming, what happens is you experience yourself in this bardo as having the body that you had in your previous existence. Rinpoche is saying, so if it was me, I would experience this body that you see. And at this time we call it a mental body. It's like the body you have in a dream, right? You appear as yourself in a dream, but it's not a solid body, it's just some kind of manifestation. And for this body, there are some differences then, of course, when you are alive in this body. You can travel unimpededly, like through walls and things. The body sort of manifests its own light. This is from the karma, just a karmic occurrence. There's further some degree of clairvoyance, being able to like read other people's minds and things like this, and some degree of like miraculous ability. Ability. And again, these aren't the fruit of practice or something. This is just something that naturally occurs because of karma in this particular bardo. So you have this mental body. And again, the reason you know something is up because it's different from the body that you experienced when you were alive. Again, it's these things we just spoke of. It radiating light, having some degree of clairvoyance, having some degree of miraculous activity. So because of this, now you'll know you're dead. And when you realize that you're dead, you experience a great deal of suffering, a great deal of fear, and a great deal of anxiety. Then the second word of the verse is jong, which means that which is to come. So this means that whatever birth you are now sort of in the process of taking, those appearances or appearances related to that birth are going to start arising. So let's say you're destined to go take rebirth as a horse. Now, even though you're experiencing yourself in the body as it was before, you'll start to experience like horses. You see horses in front of you, many horses.
Then lude and onjong sipishadok chance sipakora yilude. Then yilu in the collar, then tobatan your mars, tra tang, churtang. Oh, Kawaina in the Kosangal, Rotuyor. Kechikla, Benatata, Portland, Nayona, and the Kechikla and the Jagar in the Dillinda left side. Dillin the young New York left side. Oh, New York, the Los Angeles left side. Oh, Kechikla in the top one in the left the Yoris.
You got that, right? So the next part is talking about another quality of this body. It's this mental body. And because it's a mental body, now it's unimpeded. You can travel through rock. You could go down into water. You have like this, you have the ability to just pass through solid objects. Further, like if you think of India and New Delhi, instantly you travel to New Delhi. If you think of New York, you instantly travel to New York. If you think of Los Angeles, you instantly will travel to Los Angeles.
Then yang kapka sosu nang kimsang da lab yung gres. Sosu nang lab da sosu ki jeme hina yang cho가에나 보게나 대조 가르치기도 차당 통구요랬어. 애는 거절 깨져히 그랬어. 에 저랑 대원데 하와리스. 애는 레이트가 말했어. 거기 하고 말와 레 마테 쌤 빼팜 그랬어. 동아르 플람 김에 잡. 야 당아시 살살에 삼사로. 되네야 된데게 내 동아리요랬어.
So further, you'll probably travel to like your home, wherever you lived, right? You can do that. You'll go into that place and you'll see your wife or your husband or your children or whoever there. You'll see what they're doing. You'll approach them and you'll talk to them. You'll say, "How are you?" And then they won't answer. And when they don't answer, you'll maybe know that you're dead, and a great amount of suffering. You'll be overcome by the suffering that they're not responding to you, etc.
되네 왕복군 창세. 다 베나 다디소도 르데 맥 롱완다고 지나 다 파르도깔라 맥 요래 상마 통그래 야 낭에마 롱와이 통메 다 단다 차장 통에도 야 나시 사르마데 파르도레도 상하고 그래 녜마 원바에나 드라탐지 투용 그래 녜마 에네 국바에나 뜨게자 상마 히에투 그래 녜마 강바 맹게제나 가와에나 욕투 그래 로투 그래.
The next part of the verse says, all faculties intact. So this means that maybe in life, maybe you were blind from birth or became blind. When you're in this bardo of becoming, now you'll be able to see. So you'll realize, oh, before I couldn't see and now I can see, and maybe that'll be a clue that you're dead. So the same is true with the other faculties. Like if you were deaf before, now you'll be able to hear sounds. If you were mute before, you'll be able to speak. If you had some accident or were born like without an appendage, like legs or something, your legs would be there and you would be able to run here and there, etc.
다 되네 렉툼 다 그런 바도 코랑라야 이제 바도 코랑도 이제 야데 냠돌라 되네 가게 잭잭 통 잭잭까지 듣고요.
The next one says talks about those of a similar situation. So what this means is that other beings in the bardo you can communicate with. You can see each other, you can communicate with each other.
다 바도게 드연라보데 제 샤십주 셰군라보 다 드연신라보 드선 대시라 내봐 타직도 요마레스.
And how long one remains in the bardo it's not exactly set. Maybe it's 49 days, but it could also be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's not sure, it's not certain.
다 되네 다 바도 땅nga 시타도 땅nga 바도레도 땅nga 루직 랭고도 삼네 되네 루 레야겠다 즉 탑신다고 망고 저그랬 베나이나다 제 교가데 게메 냐보 제데데 그때는 살아야 안로네 엔텔야드네 파탕말라 에네 차발라 소바테도 지네 에네 다 바도이 딜루데 에네 마이가도 에네 쪽네 에네 야 멘타고 제나 tin데 개발랭게래 다 든도다고 제나 든도소서 베나 든도다고다 제 바족다고 제 있나야 바족도 빼 강바상보다고 예 동완다고 제 토네 텔야 착바제네 엔티날리아 든족네 네 바족이 개발랭도 요랬어.
And then at some point, you will start to realize or feel that you need a body. You don't have a body, and you start searching. You want to have another body. So you'll start looking. And maybe depending on where your karma is drawing you, like if you're going to be born as a human, you'll be drawn to a couple, in sexual union, and you'll have attachment to the mother or father or something, and you'll end up entering the womb to move on to that next birth. If you're in the process of taking birth as an animal, then maybe you'll see, if it's going to be like a cow, you'll see like a cow shed, and like the cow shed will seem very appealing to you. It's like a place that you want to go, and you'll be drawn into there, and your body will, your mind will go into the womb of this cow.
다도 야 지가드 hingamla 깨투비야 고갑대 됐어요레스. 가리어스나다 나 바르도레 시타도 다가 바르도게 니야 갑수레도 삼게 드네 샘라 드네 동아르 소르바 삼게 미자 바게 델라테네 드네 양 직네마 직다 수수그 자베 라만드라보 아니 오바메다 제네세 대졸 책대 냠랭 박자 템부 요나 다텔이야 소르바 답을 세직도 다 라마 오빠마 바체 라마 제네스게 땅아 에네 바르도게 에네 야트네 내갑래도 에네 야 오빠메 신감도 깨토 바르혀도 소르바 몰람 세직도 답 터바이나 안 오빠메 주주바 제네스 주주바 제네 가이드라고 제네 야티기 신감네 텐도 그랬어 텐도 그래 대이나 티갑은 디제라 소소 에네 야티네 베나 부근다고 칠라 소소 그 부근 저라 차바 첨보 점바 첨보 요나 에네 티게 아마 만도 nga de go nga 요케는 베세 지랑게 nga 냠도 도이 세야서 틴 깨져라 깨잠나 티네 델양 치맥다 그랬어 치맥다 고 트럭도 그래 봐 치맥다는 에네 코르바 참도 그래 다이디 오바메기 다 가세 남도 티게 제야 만도 바체네 차바 깨지게 에네 다 요들라 에네 치맥다는 티네 양자네 코르바 정도 그랬어 개데 다 드르게 네 차바던 점바 매바들 때네 네 오바메 게다 당전에서 틴데게네 주바티게 람나 제 때가 소르바 답토바이나 틴데게 다 신감을 제야게 고갑 템템 요레스 다이나 패처와 제바 바도 랩타 트롤타나 네 동안 바히레 네 패제 다 제와내야라 다 초반다고 그래
So in this bardo of becoming, there is still some small opportunity to go to travel to Pure Land. Maybe you realize you're dead and you have this great suffering, and if you have some habitual connection, if you have some familiarity with practice, maybe you have practiced Amitabha or Chenrezi, or maybe you've connected to a Lama and you supplicate this Lama. You supplicate Amitabha, like, Amitabha, please know my situation. I want to take rebirth in your pure realm. If you can supplicate them in a very meaningful and heartfelt way, if you can have the wherewithal to do that, then it's still possible to be led to this pure realm. It could be that Amitabha or Chenrezi, like a manifestation of them, will appear to you, and they will appear to be leading you to the pure realm of Sukhavati. But what can happen is that these people that you're leaving behind, so it's like you're being led, right? Because of our attachment, if you still have strong attachment, you'll hear maybe like you're a child or something calling out to you, oh, you're just going to leave me behind, why are you leaving me? Or they're calling after you. If this attachment arises in this way and you aren't able to remain focused, like you think you want to return to them, which of course you can't do, but if that happens, if you turn back, literally it means if you turn back, then again, you'll be sucked down into samsara. That's why it's so important to be without this attachment and this just attachment at this time. So there is this slight opportunity. If you really can supplicate Amitabha or Chenrezi, there is some chance that they can lead you from this bardo becoming to Sukhavati, but the chances are it's just quite difficult. And for most people, once they arrive to this point, they're going to take another birth in samsara.
다데 나랑츠 메게 루데 상본데 다 양조 만족 산잠 랩디오레스 야르 에니야다 대와젠당 상제지 공방 드베게 산잠 mar ene korba ta ngezong somla sopa da ene kebek tin sanzam la ta nganang siores yar la ndoda malandro nganang su la pali yores tada rawang res tenda songza da nganang su sepa pardo nda kyamma goba dermate ene tin chunye pardo neka layang ene roma goba ta chiki pardo tene then trotebeke 다 가서 char지선한다 냉도선한다 디기적에다 자정다 보대 다다 지규 백해지 모래 다능에 나도 내내 전에 희반바 다 치기 파도 특히 체규레스 삼조를 대다 되네가도 trot에 빠지 거랬어.
So having this precious human opportunity that we have, it's a very potent, experience, because you're sort of at the border. You're sort of at these crossroads. Crossroads is good. You're at these crossroads where you have an opportunity to take one path or the other. You have the opportunity to lay the foundation, lay the ground for you to take rebirth, in Sukhavati or another Pure Land. And there's also the opportunity or the chance that you're going to fall back into samsara, perhaps even into the lower realms. And at this present time, with this birth, this is all in our own hands. We have the opportunity, we have the freedom. We just have to choose which one we want to do. So what we need to focus on is a technique where we don't have to take our chances in this bardo of becoming, not needing to wander through the bardo of becoming, not even needing to experience the bardo of dharmata. Like I said this morning, and I sort of was insisting that the most important bardo, where we need to put our focus, is this bardo of dying. Because this is where our best opportunity is. This is where there's a junction where we can make a critical choice or make a critical move for things to go very well for us. So in this bardo of dying, we have this great opportunity for liberation. So we need now to make plans. We need now to prepare ourselves to take advantage of that opportunity when it arises.
다 다시 당봉에 휴바 나기 라량 가보체레스. 나랑 소티는 추바 랍 ring 타마 술라이나양 되네 잘라라 폐용체와 벨레 레라보 임바 폐용체보 임바데 다 상계와 바메티 힘감라 자직도 넘바 다다네 되네 자득세네 가도나 에네 야베데 땅아 상이 남편의 희그레스 가도 희때데 야마트 희그레스 시비 내갑서 나 오바메기 힘감라 배 샤르자 달레네 야 로기 삼베게 다배 가르세 자직도 에네 타 단단히 제고레스 디 타한다고 쭉 터바이나 아니 샘세 주때 고 느바체 보인상 땡땡 뒤갑라 때네 로아메바 에네 야 제투브레스 다때 내가 책유시래 다 대답을 힘감 깨와라 점바당 착바스 주때 배에네 야다 바지 책유들에 깨와라 아니 진짜 탐제 에네 야 때네 빵고레스 진짜 빵을 제발라 아니 다 집에 내값을 아니 소소라 강 점바 채스기 요때 tor chebeke ane sozu ta lulongjo gewa tang cheba ngubo kang yoba tamje ane ta mandar ge tsordo ane sangye oba mala pul di to ne pulbek to ne ane zimba di ya ta chakba zimba ge chingba di jeko re oda di ni chongna tene hingam de je tu re ten di tengdo ta semji nelo chaja chembo ane gom to paina ane 다이히바나기래 추와오살 추지고 상게스 추니 바르돌란 로코말 세바 바르돌란 로코말 듣는 상게도 요르 어다 띠는가데 토글 샤나로 낭세 엔타간다 제때는 트바요나 송로낭.
So like we spoke about before, and I just want to go over it again as it's so important. Whether we're a superior level practitioner, middling, or the lesser level practitioner, the easiest and the most beneficial thing we can do as we're approaching death is to one-pointedly supplicate, make aspirations, strive to take birth in the realm of Amitabha, the realm of Sukhavati. And if we want that to happen then, it's important that we prepare. We know that we're going to die and we don't know when that's going to be. So at that time, as soon as it happens, we need to have a very strong conviction. We need to have decided long ago and have it in the fore of our mind that as soon as that experience comes about, we're going to immediately, without hesitation, strive, just go towards the pure realm of Amitabha, which is Sukhavati. We need to decide this 100% and have no doubt, no indecision in our minds. And then, because of the power of the mind and the potential at that point, this is very possible. So we know that if we want to do this, there's one great obstacle, and that one great obstacle is our attachment, all of the things to which we're attached. So it's important that we abandon this attachment. And again, the best way to undermine this attachment is at the time of death, when we know it's coming. All of the things to which we are attached, to which we feel that we cling to, we should imagine offering them in the form of a mandala offering to Amitabha. So that includes our body, our wealth, even all of our virtue. Everything that we own, we imagine offering to the Buddha Amitabha. In this way, we can cut the fetters that bind us to samsaric existence. And if we do like this, then it's definitely possible that we can take rebirth in the Pure Land of Sukhavati. Or if one focuses on the practice of Mahamudra and has some experience with that, then at the time of death, it's possible to be liberated into Buddhahood, into the luminosity of death, which is the Dharmakaya. And if one can do this, either of these, if one can do it in either of these two ways, then one won't need to experience the bardo of dharmata or the bardo of becoming. So I want to just again remind you to please keep these instructions in your mind and put them into practice. So that concludes my presentation on the 6 bardos, and for the remaining time we can have some question and discussion.
Thank you, Rinpoche. There's this difficulty with our language all the time about, I will go through the bardos, I will take rebirth. But the person is gone at death, right? Consciousness leaves, body stays. So there's no personal zopa going forward. What goes forward that carries the karma from this life and the past lives? What is it that goes forward into this bardo carrying positive and negative karma?
Namshi yoma da namshi da namshi josa song in the marwa in the kari dewachen la kekin kari kari jogere
ta kekin ta tin so ke in ya tin sem number hipa sem de so sem genge sang genge sem de and ya dewachen la genge sem de was and the part of the kemge sem de was dene lun de par pang ne Kiawa chema lu sarpa pena mi lu lengo nanda lai lu lengo nanda di lu lenge di ta semtel se yora wat di semte kor yun da woche ta nga du che tang da me se yora te ene da che takpa terso ngupo tropa dine che zesu tropa dine ke ene dine da che me se dine ke dine da di me se yora ene nga du te pungbu ki 풍봉아이 균 잠시가 다둔 zembe게 박사게 샘직도 여러와 샘 어다 깨완 나만네 내나 용게게 샘 내내 깨와 치말란 롱게게 샘 어다 깨완 아치 세다 데려와 다는 것도 깨완 아치 여봐 히르히아래 깨완 아치 여도 히르히아도 걸든 깨와 나만 깨완 내내 치말란 롱게게 샘들이라고 여러와 Tanga to Tang Kiwa Nacha Kemenekena, Hitana, the same Yomarwa, Namhi Yomare, Pumbotniam to Jectare, Lu Lenge, Kiwa Lenge Yomare. Didn't tell him did.
So, in short, we say mind, yeah? So, if we become Buddha, what becomes Buddha? It's mind that becomes Buddha. If we have to wander the bardo, what wanders the bardo? Where is this experience of wandering the bardo? It's in mind. If we take a human birth next or a divine birth next, what would we say experiences or has this birth? We would say that it's mind. So like you say, we say there's no self. But when we say there's no self, we mean that there's nothing that is permanent, nothing that is substantial, there's no substance there, there's no substantiality there, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing that experiences things in that way. So we have these habits of experiencing the skandhas and etc. That we would say that which came from our previous life to this life is mind. That which goes from this life to the next is mind. So again, this is all predicated on belief in past and future births. Of course, if someone doesn't believe in past and future births, that the mind is done at death and the body just decomposes, so there's nothing to happen. But for us, we would say it's mind that goes from one birth to the next. One in the back. Oh, sorry.
Thank you again for these teachings. If you have a sense that a loved one is suffering in becoming and is attempting to connect with you, and perhaps you're sensing that for a variety of reasons, could you speak to what's most beneficial for that being and for yourself in that situation?
Samsamla di ngatsugi ngo shepa apa ama suyena drongerwa. Drone mi mambo di sorwachi kiegire. Ni apa ama drong sason. Yin konso nga la keche shea drop yores. Keche drop gogire shamena konso di sorwachi kiore. Oh konso di la lep songs. Sorwa kiegirwa. So ngatso di dinda yin ngatso di konso pentok tupgire ngatso chik lapna yamena lapche gyapna yamena. Konso la pentok tapshe yorebes.
Konso la pentok ke taphi de ta dine sozo dine chenese gom. ane 다 저 파마라 소바 수시에서나 대드네 다 제네스게 에네드네 공방 톱톱바 오바 매게 에네 공방 톱바 다긴나게 휴바나게 에네 오바 매게 텐다 제네스게 텐다 에네 대도 오아마나 야보시네 소소게 드네 개와카르 사요나 틴티 개와데 안테데 다 파마스 수시에서나 del아야 오와제네 가ring오기 어르나 다 공남바 에네 코르베기 동안래 잘네 에네 다다 니에도 에네 상계오바 매지 신감라 계획이 열려야 로버효 삼베 에네 잠바당 닝제 고네 랑네 에네야 오마람제 상계 센터나 덴데 팽그레스 펜도 쳔보요레스 데난고레스.
So even whether that experience that they're like communicating with you or not, just if we know people who have died, and even all the more so if you have that feeling, yeah, there are things we can do. So you can meditate, like if you know the Chenrezi practice, meditating on yourself as Chenrezi. And then motivated by loving kindness and compassion, making the wish that this loved one, whoever it is, may take rebirth in a pure realm, that they may be free of all of their confusion and suffering. You can, like we said before, recite the names or the mantras of Amitabha or Chenrezi. And further, you can do virtuous things or just dedicate all the virtue that you've ever accumulated to that individual, making the wish, the same wish, that they may be free of samsara, may they be able to take birth in Dewachen or Sukhavati or whatever, making the wish that they may be free of samsara. So that's what we can do for beings who have died.
One up here.
And maybe people who haven't asked questions first, since there are so many hands.
I'm wondering, in the 3 bardos of death, whether you feel like when I'm in a dream, I don't have any control over what's happening. So it feels like things are happening to me. So these decision points that come along in a dream, they would just feel like they're happening. I'm wondering what it feels like as you're going through the death process. Do you feel like you have volition, or is it more like a dream?
Milam yepa hamagona, ramang yamarwa. Yinan di ganso di chike baru di chuni baru sipe baru kapso. Dende yana, ganso gi rangwang yorebes. Ganso gi tsuwa dire. Rangwang yorebes.
Rangwang yomare.
Lasam.
Re, da chike parto lata da rangwang yosena, teto da rangwang te yorwa. Sosun da sorwa tabia molam tabia teto yore. Da che 춘이 파르도 갑라다 드라당 어당 되네 희와당 초육 사조에서 차려마데 고 춘이래 랑신 샤용요래 샤용도 걸라 다 될야 ngо시 될은 직다매나 예담가 라인바라인바 시나 아니 trold고요래 될은 직다제 아니야 다 예담가 라인바 막시 하마고나 네 troll네 아니 야 코르발 참루 요래 아니 세파 파르돌 갑라타 라왕 히타 요마레스 베 투탑 체그레스.
It gets less over time. Yeah. So in the dying process, there's a fair degree of freedom, right? This first one isn't actually after we're dead, but it's when the dying process begins. So at this time, there's a fair amount of volition or freedom still. We can make aspirations, we can do visualizations, we can make supplications, etc. Once we're past that point and death has actually occurred, once we're in the bardo of the dharmata, where the sounds and the lights are starting to manifest, it's pretty overwhelming. And it's possible, but it's less likely. It's kind of overwhelming, and because it's overwhelming, it's difficult to have that control. It's like, Rinpoche didn't say this, but like waking up in the dream, then you have control over the dream, right? But until you do that, you don't. Here it's kind of so overwhelming, it's kind of hard to rise to that level. And then, as Rinpoche said before, if you can recognize these things for what they are, I mean, the arisal of these experiences is natural. It just happens for everyone. If we can recognize them, there's an opportunity for realization or for liberation. And if we react with fear, then we're just probably going to be propelled back into samsara. And then once we move on to the bardo of becoming, the confusion gets even greater. So it's going to be even harder to sort of wake up in that state and be able to make sort of lucid decisions, as it were.
I understand in some Buddhist traditions they have a practice of washing the body at some point, I don't know what point, after someone dies. I wonder if we have that in our tradition, and if so, I wonder about the thing of not touching the body for a while, and like when is it skillful to, with let's say us more ordinary people, but people who have been practitioners, then kind of the thing about how long to not touch the body, and if that would include not washing the body, and is there any thing about washing the body to begin with?
Marangoso di nangpe chulo kashela da michi drongne di pumpo di trugere yini angebishe yang disung song di lakpa machangna yapores. So di tu gewares ngato di bupe chulokla konso di pumpo di trugere bes. ngato gi churokwa da ngato gi now dropa di nyamtok topo yomares jesang ngato gi mi drong du kapsu ngato di zupo chuna yapores matruna yapores and the yung ringlu shagore lakpa ban changle gugi matangle the yung ringlu shagore
ngana me patbanda bochina shama sun seji khana ne yapores yunang dong supo choko mares tene ta je lama chimbo jibu tamba ke tene bena kudong dawo ta hyoya dawo mala choba mabuchan ku mardong hyoya ji yorba dezo ina tene tangbo ku dezo chaba chöla chu ene chesangbo jo
shakmata
me tudam chu sane nima mambu jela raba 샤마타도 다 고jotan 마당 샤그러와 추추야 요마래 대 제마 되네 초대래 대 추추야 대양 딕듭 다야라 소바트리 게저 말에 다 고쳤던 그 장마 용야 그 돈아래 데래 다이나 겨 파파도래 네 추추고 말했어 양지 추운다고 만나서 제 고모 민족 바당 어바메 대도 드비게 양 추주요래 추추 대도 양지 풍보대도 랜도 스테토 추제나 양고 딕트 정말라 펜도요레스 마도 치단게 네 야티네 팔베기 추추네 데고 바좀 되시라요 말레스.
Taking the last piece first, in general, like 3 days, if you can let a body rest for 3 days, that would be considered good. Going back to the washing, so like if it's a highly realized lama or something, right? And they rested in this tukdam, they rested in meditation at the time of death. And if you're then going to like keep their body and put it in like a stupa or something, you're going to keep the body whole, preserve the body, like is sometimes done. You're not going to offer it to the fire. Then once the meditation, the tukdam, the meditation process has finished, then there will be this cleansing of the body. But it's not about like, removing. Sometimes when we wash things, there's a connection to like interconnection with removing misdeeds and obscurations. It has nothing to do with that. It's just sort of preparing it to be kept in a state in perpetuity, right? in perpetuity. So for certain types of highly realized beings, when they rest in this meditation and their body's going to be kept, it is washed. But for ordinary people, this isn't necessary. So though it isn't necessary to wash the body, sometimes we have these ritual ablutions that we do, sprinkling consecrated water on them, and that's okay to do. That does have benefit. It said there's interconnection there with sprinkling this blessed water on them. It can create blessings to purify misdeeds and obscurations. This water is sometimes consecrated by the protector Akshobhya, Amitabha, or whatever. So yeah, but there's no need to wash it in ordinary sense of washing the body.
This is off topic. I'm not talking about death and dying, but my relationship with desire for an intimate partner is a deeply negative one for me. Whenever it arises, I experience intense anxiety and an urge to get rid of this feeling sensation.
When you have the feeling that you want to have an intimate partner, or when you do have an intimate?
Yeah, when the desire arises, I feel like very intense anxiety and an urge to get rid of the initial
desire to have a partner.
How do I work with this desire and feel at ease with it when I don't want it to arise at all?
Samsam di duchak kegirawa, duchak sene nga di gaochikios, duchak kegirawa, duchak di kemata da sem debomendus, o di duchak di mena yapores. So di kandres pangores, yinem pecho yang yongires. Duchak di yang yongires. So kari jena drugseres.
다 나랑 또 깨워 팔팔에 너자 용거래 해당 깨그래 너자 깨그래 유예도 홍화식 통나 남상 있는 야트니 쳐봐 깨쳐서 요래 저랑 매나 상마 직발에 너자 깨그래 다이나 깨베 내가라 딘 너자 디게 왕도 만로와 에 탑시 때때 낭주 계시 모레스 다 너자 왕도 만로와 가르치고 너자 디게 니메 디게 껴는데 된 삼무단 거랬 너자 기나 디 왕도 송바이나 다 마옹발라 디기 교용 가르카렌도 소소라 에네 야트네 양 너자 텔라 때네 에네 동ар 가르카렌 정도 동ar 가르카 깨그래 텔라 에네 땐 삼로탄 베나 추르 발라 다디 파르트 정도 소소라 때네 차바 텔라 때네 에네 동ar 다 때네 양 녀몽 사바 망보 지제 동ar 망보 지텔 때네 정도 되제 때네 다양 메다 베콜 삼로탄 korbi nyeme ke kola ene tin samlo tang ta tinde chene ene yangse lama gojo la sorba tamne ene ndosha ke nyomong de tamje hiwar jinge lap tu so ne se sorba molam tra ta tinde tabji chene pangkang tabtab che kure
Deri yankyo kena pecho di ko pecho dirabo jegere wa deri yankyo kena sem dile shukche wa pangires kana sene yankyo keso
양제 jet
양양도 계기로
양양 jet kegre 양제 양도 양 kegre te ta yina yang kol tele ya chi nyembo do te ne ba nyembo do te tabtab chena te ya bo nyembo ta ta yi zen do ja gi nyeme to do ji o to che ta yina kon do ja ti ke nen do ja ti kyu yin ba ha ko wa tam je ya bo res.
So as ordinary beings, this is ordinary. We're going to fall into the sway of anger, aversion. We're going to fall into the sway of desire. These things are just going to come. So it's sort of it's like just ready to arise at the smallest stimulus, right? So it's important that we, to the degree that we're able, that we don't fall sway to it. And there are different reflections we can do to help with this. So for example, if you just let it play out in your mind, so like what are the disadvantages of falling under the sway of desire towards whatever it may be, or anger towards whatever it may be, right? What are the positive and negative things that come of it? Is there any chance that suffering is going to come from that? So especially if we're thinking about wanting to practice the Dharma, how could this impact my ability to practice the Dharma and as much as I want to? Think about, could this be the cause for new types of afflictions to arise in the future? Could this be a cause for new types of suffering to arise in the future that wouldn't have arisen if this were not the case, if I didn't fall under the sway of one of these afflictions? You can further reflect upon impermanence and its relationship to having a partner or whatever else it may be. You can reflect on the faults of samsara, how it correlates with that. And then in order for it not to arise again or to be free of it, for it to be lessened, you can supplicate the Lama, you can supplicate the 3 jewels, asking for blessings that these things don't arise. And then if this feeling, so maybe you do that and it goes away for some time and then it comes back, well, we just have to keep working. We have to keep applying the antidotes like I've outlined here. So that's what we do. We just find out what the antidotes are and we make sure to use them. But just the very fact that you see it as a fault that this strong desire comes and you don't want it to come, that's actually a very good start. That's good.
This Pure Land thing feels quite foreign to me. Whenever we say land, I think of a place. And I feel like maybe I've misheard teachings on Pure Lands before, because I sort of related to them as a sort of, I've heard that if you have far less confusion than I do, you could see my current experience as a Pure Land. And so when we die, I have like just a million questions about what are we talking about that's going on there? So I just wonder if there's an aspect where it might be helpful to, do I look at it as a place? Do I look at it as a state of mind, a state of realization or insight? Like I think, like to me, without hearing anything yet more, I think like, it sounds like to me I am praying that I have the wisdom and insight, like if I prayed to Amitabha, or that I would have the wisdom and insight at death to take whatever circumstances arise so that I could see Amitabha and whatever. But I find great confusion in this whole topic. That's it.
That's all?
I've got more.
Shinkam second Shinkam. The indicator of Pure Land. Land sena di sacha draparwa. So ko di tetsumyore di sukavati second di sacha rangre yang mena gitsingatsugi semgi nangware yang mena di kapala yore ngoma and kon dirang gonyong natsugi nyapadan tokpa test topo yuna zumbling di shinkambres so shinkam tsik shinkam gi second di chichena di go yapo go na yindo di donda karins
Shinkam said ta dona takpeket nangwares takpeket nangwa tene tela chi ene ta shinkam tela dona chi mada be kyu tene yo mares tamje ene ya tene deje je ene ya tene ta rangyi pena suka wate se to ene ka suka te to debarwa wate te to shinkam ne suka wate ta land to ta ko dewa chengi hingam se te nganzu dona che da karza sangye dang changjup semba namgi ke tine takpe ke tine singnang ke ta yul chigla ene hingam se res ta yi churang se zare tine sajan dina ti hingam de sajan dina yore mail in a tang mangyung dida chike san ram la yore se tine xia ke yo mares ko takpe ke nang wares perna in ya sangye ndawo chirang ndawo ta sangye char sung na ane tanda Portland hingam rang de yores Portland de mata be nang wa tan to yo mares te pe ko ta takbe hingam ko rangres.
So, the experience of a pure land or a pure realm is basically pure appearance. It's pure appearance. So, in these pure realms, we say that there are no ordinary things or faults to be seen. Everything is sort of the nature of well-being. And if we take the name of Amitabha's Pure Land, Sukhavati, Sukha means well-being or bliss, and Vati means land. So basically, being around the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, or their sphere of experience, is a Pure Land. So if we think of it in terms of a place, like we ordinarily think in terms of place, then we might think, well, exactly where is it? How many miles do I have to go to get there? It's not like that. It's more just this sense of pure perception. So now you're here in Portland. If you become Buddha here in Portland, then you will see Portland as a pure land. You won't see any impure qualities in it. Your perception of it will change. Do you want to follow up on that?
Don't know where to start with the follow-ups. Man. So, a follow-up I have is actually related to an earlier question, was that I feel like I hear in many spiritual traditions, whether they're native tribal traditions or very advanced ones with long histories, very similar circumstances that are talked about after death. Even things that sound like pure lands.
Like heaven.
Heaven, going to see the fathers or ancestors or what have you. And so I feel like I sort of want to question the difference. To me, the thing that Buddhism brings is both explicit work for others, altruism to it, and the lack of concrete self. So I wonder, when Rinpoche answered earlier that another tradition wouldn't have this experience of Amitabha, and I was like, I don't know that, because it sounds like I've heard altruism in other traditions.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if they have different, it's sort of this old thing of a different face or a different name to whatever that experience is of being in the presence of Amitabha. Or
Rinpoche is not going to have much experience with knowing about other traditions and what they think and how they...
Yeah, okay. So maybe you could just focus then on the qualities, like why is this particularly special? Yeah.
Di chuluk shimpala, konso la shinkang lo yosegeres. Chuluk shimpala.
Pena yeju chulola
Long.
paradise sigraba.
Heaven.
Heaven sigraba. Heaven to ta de ngantu hingam.
Paradise drop.
Paradise heaven sigraba. Enata the Quran suka yang the yonde kande yo de ngantan lap to mara. Manang su ta hingam se at to sangye rangge ene tine rangnang ta sangye ke ene togla ene driba tamje ta sonraba. En driba tamje ta son to kola tamje ene takbe nangwari kyata. Nangla ene driba mena tine chela ene ya tine ta madabe nangwata ane yo mares. Nyarwa se ate ene ya ngusu ene trubdewa yo mar. Soso ene ya ta dikpa meke pa sabike tine trubike nangwala ene nyarwa se ate shaangurese. Bardo se ate tine trubike nangwarese. Takbike nangwate ta maturba ene ya tine sangjete sangju senpa namjike ene takbike nangwarese.
So, Rinpoche, what did I ask? I asked, could other traditions, like, could they have something like Pure Lands? And Rinpoche said, well, he doesn't really know about these other traditions and exactly what they mean by heaven in the Christian tradition, etc. So, doesn't know what to say about that. But for us, again, a Pure Land is something that is the spontaneous appearance arising from an awakened Buddha. So for an awakened Buddha, all of their obscurations have been purified. That's what we mean by Buddha. So when there are no obscurations on the inside, that means that all the external things perceived will be pure as well. There will be no obscuration on the outside. So it's because of their realization that they create this sort of environment around them, perhaps we can say. So further, like if you want to talk about these other realms, like the hell realm we say isn't truly existent. It doesn't like exist as some place in time. It arises only because of the confused or the obscured outlook of the beings who experience it. So, and the bardo is the same way. It's not truly existent as some place or something. It arises because of the confusion of the beings. It's an expression of the beings' confusion. And the Pure Land is, I suppose we can say, an expression of the Buddha's wisdom.
That's about it.
One more.
I have a question. Whoa. Hey, thanks to you both for fostering this discussion today. To Rinpoche and Lama Eric. I wanted to ask a question. I'm new to the center, so forgive me if I hope I don't embarrass myself. But I just wanted to ask, the story that you had earlier about the building of the house was very encouraging. It was very touching. But I'm curious because it can't just be the trick of having someone chant or recite the name of Amitabha. You said there's also got to be an interconnectedness of some sort. So I was wondering if you could elaborate that, please.
Yeah. The Rinpoche the Logyu Drum Rinpoche Sung Sama Shing Soa. Dan Bumodi. And ko Nangodro Song Dila Pe Nyapudu in a Dokpachik Sasong. Karen Sena Rinpoche Diang Sung Song the Dindilela po Yena. The apadi nang pamare dene ming chipo Amitabha gitsen di chipo lapalatene ngone dewachen la ke tupkeres karin sana di le ke chorwa dene tendra gogorwa draba mena hundreds kewala tupkeres
ta tanda te kewa len tobya ta zu sangye oba me khonang gitne tukje tang molam be sangye hin da mandabeke ene yang pe tukje da molam khapar du phagbaji yores sangye oba me di tola dene khongge ene tne chen tuze khongla deba jeze de ene ya hingam tela ene ya tne gebeke khongge tukje molam khapar du phagbaji yobal dene ene chungwares gyuchek gyutot 다 균이 바데 소소에 니야티네 파당 부모 바르게 ndr바테 빼 제베게 뜨는 ndr바테 빼 상보지 요레스 제바 ndr바 데도 아니 코티 ndr바테 양빼 가서 히나 마다 빼고 빼 넘버 타바지 요바인도 디기양 고 토적다 누바지 요레스 다 숨바데 양 바와 코랑 에네 앞에 규 정보 코랑 지케랑 산나들은 요르바다 안 나와 짝dun도 안 메히베 그런 된다지 요레스 요 정보 다 된데게 있네야 규제 나도 저를 때네 제가 레스 다디나 규진 또데 상제와 밤에 코랑 챙기 질랍다 되는 중앙에서
인디 아파디 ngoma di soksakse
아
아파디 바 케고 ngomala sokmambo
다 초사데 초사유 시게데 초시다 매바 시게데 ene 갑수 바바타는 아주 초사다 마다 그게 요마라 다 그럼 디 오바멜 깨바데 디 깨베기 교데 가데스나 ene 코티 오바멜 쳔데 다 코스템마 샤디어바 나 오바멜게 ene 야튼 강바소 고요 사 데레 ene 야샘 샤샤 난 히송와라와 데선다 오바멜 쳔데 지랍 토데네 정말에서.
So there are a few reasons why this story is possible. So the most important one is the compassion and the aspirations that this Amitabha made over his lifetimes of practice. All of the virtue he engaged in, he was dedicating to a singular purpose, and that was for other beings who hear his name, who encounter him, who have faith in him. He wanted to make it possible for those types of beings to have a place to practice where they could practice without obstacle. So those are the wishes that he's dedicating all of his merit to that over very long periods of time. And it's mainly because of the power of that this opportunity is possible for whatever being. The second cause, present here, is the relationship between the father and the daughter. Because there was such a great affection between them, this contributed to his being able to, based on the power of their positive connection and affection and pure bond, she being the practitioner, that made the connection, another connection for him to be able to take birth there. And the third one did have to do with the qualities of the father, him being a very upright, honest, straightforward person, and also the fact that he made this vow, like he was always resolute in any pledge that he made. And then because of that, at a very critical time, like we talked about, right, at this junction where many things are possible that otherwise aren't possible, he had Amitabha in his mind at the time when he died, and this strong desire to go there. And then that, based upon the affection between the father and the daughter, and supported mainly by the blessings and aspirations of Amitabha, that whoever does hear his name, Amitabha's name, may they be able to easily take birth in this place. And again, it's not complete Buddhahood when you're born there. You still have work to do. It's just a place where the work is much easier to do. So because of these things coming together, that makes it possible. Are we finished? Is there anything else that needs to happen before we go? Okay. So now we'll recite the 3 aspirations, starting on page 7. All by this merit may I attain from this domain of and may I liberate beings from the ocean of samsara. The hero Manjushri knows the true nature. Samantavadra knows just the same. Emulating them and the other bodhisattvas, I dedicate this virtue in the same perfect way. By the blessing of this Buddha and the 3 kayas, by the blessings of the truth of unchanging dharmata, by the blessings of unwavering aspiration of the Sangha, may this aspiration be fulfilled just as intended.